He knew that this was what Sarah said to him, and at the same time it was told to Claire cryptically, and it could even be understood that this was a demonstration of her to Claire in front of her. However, he just couldn't do anything about it. After all this is because he owes Sarah, and also betrayed the marriage contract made by both parents in the past. I have no face to accuse her anyway. Moreover, what made Charlie even more depressed was that he could not simply refuse Sarah like he refused Elsa. Although Elsa liked him, he did not owe Elsa any love, but saved her life many times, so even if he rejected her straightforwardly every time, Charlie would not have any psychological burden. But Sarah is different after all. She is his baby relative. She has been looking for him, waiting for him and looking forward to him for so many years, but he has failed her. This kind of thing is his fault. At this time, Claire, who was in the dark, mustered up the courage to say to Sarah, "Miss Sarah, can I take a photo with you?" Sarah readily agreed, and smiled and said, "Okay. Shoot now?" Claire nodded, busy. "If it is convenient for you, then shoot now." Sarah nodded, took the initiative to move her chair, leaned closer to Claire, and said with a smile, "Mrs. Wade is so beautiful, it is still very stressful to take a photo with you." "How come?" Claire said awkwardly, "I am under pressure. Miss Sarah is not only beautiful, but also a top star. In front of you, I will inevitably feel embarrassed." Sarah smiled slightly, "Come on, I'll be a little bit ahead, so that you can make your face smaller and better." The two women took a selfie together like sisters. After the filming, Claire held the phone and asked excitedly, "Miss Sarah, can I post this photo to Moments?" Claire herself is a woman without any vanity. When Charlie bought her a BMW car, she never posted it to Moments. Charlie organized her wedding in the Hanging Garden of Shangri-La, and she never posted it to Moments. Charlie took her to experience tens of millions of super sports cars, but she still hasn't posted to Moments. Even if she lives in a top-notch mansion like Thompson, she still hasn't posted to Moments. The only show-off in the circle of friends was the vegetable garden built by her husband Charlie overnight. But this time, she really couldn't hold back. After all, Sarah is her favorite female celebrity and her idol. She can eat with her idols, and even take photos with her idols. How many times can she encounter this kind of thing in a lifetime? Sarah also nodded and smiled generously. "Of course, Mrs. Wade, please." Claire got Sarah's consent and immediately thanked her happily. Then she opened her WeChat account and posted the photo to her circle of friends. The words she wrote to Moments is, "I never dreamed that I would have the opportunity to meet my idol and take a photo with her." This photo has been sent out, and it has received numerous likes and comments. Claire's social circle has never left Orus Hill. For Orus Hill, a second-tier city, there are not many opportunities to meet first-tier stars. Especially the super first-line top stars like Sarah are extremely difficult to see. Therefore, Claire's circle of friends has aroused the amazement and envy of countless people. Many people even chatted with her privately, asking about the details of her meeting with Sarah, such as where she is now, whether Sarah is in Orus Hill, and can she help ask for a signed photo of Sarah, etc. Sarah on the side smiled and said, "Mrs. Wade, this time I came to Orus Hill and didn't let the outside world know, so if someone asks, you must not say that I am in Orus Hill." Claire nodded hurriedly. "I know, Miss Sarah, don't worry, I will never reveal it." Sarah nodded and said with a smile, "By the way, Mrs. Wade, let's add a WeChat friend as well. You can contact us directly on WeChat if you have anything in the future." "Add friends?" Claire exclaimed, "You want to add my WeChat friends?" Claire dared to believe her idol and took the initiative to add her WeChat friend. She hadn't had this idea before. If she could add Sarah as a friend, even if she had no time to take care of herself, she could often see her circle of friends and see her latest developments. However, she later thought that after all, she and Sarah are in a disparity in status. It is already a great fortune to have a meal together. How embarrassed to add someone else to WeChat friends. But she never expected that Sarah would take the initiative to add her as a friend, and be able to become a WeChat friend with an idol. This is something she would never dream of. After Sarah and Claire added their WeChat friends, they looked at Charlie and said with a smile, "By the way, Master, let's add a friend too." After that, she handed her WeChat QR code to Charlie. Charlie had to take out his mobile phone, scan it, and added her as a friend. Sarah winked at him with a successful face, and then asked him sternly, "Master, when will you be able to leave for Eastcliff? Can you tell me about the time so I can prepare?" Charlie said, "Next week, but I still can't decide the exact time." Sarah nodded and smiled and said, "Master, then my father and I will be waiting for you in Eastcliff." Charlie suddenly thought of what Sarah had said before, saying that after arriving in Eastcliff and seeing her father, she watched her father not beat him up. Hey, the more I think about it, the more shameless I am to see her father Philip. Just when Charlie was having headaches for Gu's father and daughter, in the intensive care unit of Orus Hill First People's Hospital, Nanako and her assistant Koichi Tanaka, as well as Jiro of the Kobayashi family, stood motionless and stood by Nanako. Both sides of the hospital bed of the coach and Kazuki Yamamoto. Yamamoto Kazuki on the hospital bed looked extremely haggard. The doctor had just performed a third full-body examination on him, and once again confirmed that his nervous system was severely injured and there was almost no possibility of recovery. As for the bloody East Asian sick man on his forehead, the big characters. Still eye-catching. Nanako hopes that the doctor can use gauze to cover Kazuki Yamamoto's forehead, so as not to further stimulate her teacher. However, Yamamoto Kazuki firmly rejected the proposal,